Former President Donald Trump is off the campaign trail today, but in a preview of what may come in his first debate with his Democratic opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, next Tuesday, Trump is sounding off about the federal election subversion case and a heck of a lot more. CNN's Steve Contorno is joining us now. What are we hearing from Donald Trump, and what clues does this give us as to what's going to be said during the debate?
Well, Trump discussing the new charges filed against him by special agent or special counsel Jack Smith in response to that Supreme Court ruling on immunity, and Trump suggesting that he had, quote, every right to interfere in the counting and the results of the 2020 election. Take a listen to what he said.
It's so crazy that my poll numbers go up. Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it? You get indicted and your poll numbers go up.
Elsewhere in that interview, he also said that Vice President Harris was nasty, and that's his direct word, in her previous debates against Vice President Mike Pence. The irony there, of course, is that Mike Pence is not endorsing Donald Trump this go around, and Trump supporters actually stormed the Capitol, some of them saying, hang Mike Pence on January 6th. So the choice of words there is quite notable. I also want to point out that over the weekend, he did respond to the news that several of the hostages had been killed by Hamas. And he said, quote, that there was a total lack of leadership by the Biden-Harris administration on that front. He also linked it back to his own legal cases and saying that because they are focusing on, quotes, weaponizing the Justice Department against him, they didn't take care of business on these foreign affairs. Sarah?
Stephen Torno, thank you so much for your reporting there. We appreciate you this morning. John?
All right, with us now, Democratic strategist Matt Bennett and CNN senior political commentator Scott Jennings. Matt, I just want to start very quickly with what Donald Trump said, because I can think of a time when Joe Biden was still a Democratic nominee where Donald Trump saying, I had every right to interfere in the election, might become a big deal in the election. How much do you think election interference in his attempts to overturn the results are playing right now?
Yeah, to your point, John, it's very clear that the Harris campaign has not made that a central plank in their argument in this race, and I think that's probably wise. The Biden campaign ran on that in 2020, and it worked, the restoring the soul of America. I think what we were seeing by the end of the kind of Biden run here was that was no longer resonating as deeply as it had been. It's amazing. I mean, Trump is threatening essentially a coup and saying that he had a right to take away America's most fundamental democratic rights, but it just doesn't seem to land with voters. So I think Harris is smart to make this a future-oriented campaign, to warn voters that Trump is extraordinarily dangerous. Project 2025 is a 900-page blueprint that would fundamentally alter the country, but not to focus as much on that particular issue.
Yeah, on the other hand, Scott, when he's talking about having the right to interfere with the election, he's not talking about inflation or immigration, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I assume he means is he has a right to challenge results that he thinks are unfair, which he did have a right to do that and would again. What you don't have a right to do is go beyond that and beyond what the courts allow you to do. So hopefully we don't see a repeat of what happened in the last election.